From death, which does not sound pleasant, to Inchling curiosity, and a cool duo, a first one for me. Hello, Magi here, and welcome back to another episode of Top 5 Touhou Doujin Works, the series where I cover Touhou Doujin Works or you guys have noticed throughout the week and had the need to tell you guys about it. So without further ado, let's begin the Top 5 Touhou Doujin Works number 47.
Number 5.
So for this first work, things are going to be very hellish. Not a situation you want to be in. Unless you want to, then by all means, be my guest. Corpse Kind and a Punishment of Pity, created by Ishikawa Spare Rib. What a name. Begins with someone waking up to see Orin. We see that this being is a spirit. Since they're in hell, there's a good chance it's a vengeful spirit. And my guess is correct, as Orin explained the situation to the spirit. Being carded by her means you're going to hell. Another reason to be wary of Orin. The feline asks some questions to the spirit, wanting to learn more about it. The spirit explains that she wanted to learn more of the world, so she and her father left the village to explore. As they were walking blindly, they so happened to meet with Yarormyr. Seeing the humans, Yarormyr decided to eat her father and use her powers on the girl. While obviously this is a fan work, what Yarormyr did here contradicts her character. She doesn't like to use her power in canon. Plus, the girl and her father were from the village, so they were meant to be spared from attacks unless they became a yokai like the fortune teller. Or this story could have taken place before the Devil's Contract, although that was more geared towards the vampires. So eating? Maybe? Disease? Probably not. Aside from my tangent, we see the spirit being in agony and calling yokais disgusting. I want to leave it there, as I want you guys to see how Orin deals with this newly obtained vengeful spirit. All I can say is that Orin's one sly hellcat, that's for sure.
Number 4.
For this next work, we're going to be looking at a very lunatic girl. Or that's what the title says anyway, not my words. Lunatic Girls Talk, created by Ozora Market, begins at the SDM. There's a party at the scene and it says it's taking place during the reversal incident. Pretty much when DDC was happening. So it gives us a timeline of the events of the story. During the party, Rumelia doesn't see Flandre anywhere and asks Socket to find her. She's in her room. That's normal. The thing is, the fairies have been mentioning something weird for a few days now. The strange part is that Flandre's been talking to a doll. Deciding to investigate the situation, Socket heads down with some food. After some small talk, Flandre introduces her doll to Sakya. Although Flandre is conversing normally with it, Sakya can't hear it. Then out of nowhere, Sakya's knife flew towards Flandre. Luckily, she was able to catch it with her powers. Sakya explains that there's an incident where items are starting to move on their own, hence Sakya's flying knife. Which is why the timeline was important. At first, I had assumed it was another story of Insane Flandre due to the title. But given it's happening during DDC, a talking doll that only communicates to its owner does seem plausible. The items did affect Marissa and Sakya in their game, so it wouldn't surprise me if Flandre is under the effect of the item as well. I want to stop here. I enjoyed the story as it used DDC's premise really well to craft this story, especially with a character that had no involvement with said incident, so respects to that.
Number 3.
Now this next story is going to involve the past, which is not surprising. Reflecting the Sky, created by Hisona, stars Ichirin. It starts at the Hakure Shrine with Moku and Sumuriko. While they're chilling out, they see Ichirin approaching. As they're conversing, the topic eventually lands on their hair color. Ichirin notes that Sumuriko's brown hair is pretty. With all the different hair colors everyone has, even the humans can be confusing. Reimu pops in and converses with Ichirin. The topic is about yokais, and Reimu asks a good question for Ichirin. Why did she become a yokai? It's then we cut to Ichirin's life when she was a kid. When she was born, she had white hair and red eyes, and given the name Ichi. She couldn't handle bright light. One day, her parents snuck her out to see the blue sky and she fell in love with it. Later on in her village, a Nudo popped out. Ichirin wanted to be useful and approached the Nudo and uttered the phrase to defeat it. After that, it swore to protect her. So, very similar to the canon version. After receiving a new life from Uzan, she left her home and eventually found Byakurin with her hair still white. I'll cut it off here. This was an easygoing backstory, which is not a bad thing. We've had several ones which are pretty heavy, so it's nice to relax with a story like this.
Number 2.
This next story is going to be a very fun one involving a princess. Not the best description considering all the princesses there are, but work with me here. Maru Maru Shimi Maru, created by Fuzen Lamp, begins at the shrine. The Inchling is giving the reader some backstory on how she's chilling at Reimu's place for the time being. The main deal of the story is that Inchlings are a rare thing among yokais, so many of them came to Raymond's place to see what one looked like. The first one to meet with her is Rigo. I love how Shimimaru immediately called her a boy. The next one involves the Scarlet Sisters. As soon as the vampires meet her, they wanted to bite her. Well, hot damn! Rumelia wanted the Inchling to be the world's one and only miniature vampire. I mean, she's probably right on that front. I'll give her that. Soon Team 9 pops into the fray, and once more the topic of biting, or in this case eating, was brought. Count on Rumia to always be wanting to munch on something. We then had a stray cat coming to the shrine, playing with the princess. That doesn't surprise me, and Shimimaru isn't a big fan of cats. It gets even worse when they start talking to her. I could see that scaring people. I don't know how I would handle that, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. A fun story of Shimimaru interacting with the many residents in Gensokyo, many times those visits being rather annoying to her. Good old Gensokyo.
Number 1.
For this last work, we're going to be focusing on 2 characters who I don't recall being together before, unless the fighting spin-off says otherwise. Bamboo Forest Healthcare Survival, created by Makuwani, stars Moku and Miko, a very unusual duo. So it starts with Miko being sick. With her sickness, she heads to the bamboo forest and meets with Moku, wanting to arrange a visit to Aente. Futo and Tochiko persuaded her to visit a doctor, and who better than Eren? Although Miko's just curious about Aente's weird drugs. It's then Moku announces a difficulty level. I'm not gonna lie, that threw me the fuck off. The reason being is that now people are wary of Aente's existence, they want to sightsee it, and to cater to people like that, they have different courses for them. So bloody weird, but whatever, Gensokyo does his own thing. Miko, being a little nuts, decides on the Lunatic course. If you're willing to take the Lunatic course while being sick, I feel you're pretty healthy. Moku agrees with me here. With that in mind, they begin their little adventure. The first thing for the sightseeing is hunting, and I gotta say, out of all the random things in Gensokyo, a fucking mammoth was the last thing on my mind. Especially in the bamboo forest. I don't believe that's accurate. But what the fuck do I know? After dealing with the mammoth, they have a lecture. Certainly not as high octane as the last one. The person to offer this lecture is Tay. I mean, for a rabbit who's lived as long as she has, I feel it's appropriate she teaches health lessons. Although her methods are questionable. Very questionable. I want to leave it at there. As you can tell from this little snippet, Moku and Miko's adventure in the bamboo forest is anything but ordinary. I know this is Gensokyo, but holy hell. This is what you get when you choose the Lunatic level, just saying. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Which Doujin Works are you gonna check out later? Do you want to see Flaundry talking to the doll some more? Do you want to see Shimimaru interacting with more of the girls of Gensokyo? Or are you done to see the rest of the course in the bamboo forest? If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, or else you might end up in that course. I don't know if you want to deal with a mammoth anytime soon. Otherwise, this is Magi, and thanks again for watching.